So I want to just push back and ask you to
Mhm.
comment on some of the specific things that are in the news. But I want to start by asking you about something that the leaders of America's largest and most successful corporations, the Business Roundtable, wrote back in 2019. They argued that the unhappiness, disenfranchisement of the American middle class is so significant. People argue that's the reason that Donald Trump got elected. That corporations need to do something about that. They need to take more care for their workers, their communities. You'll remember the statement, I'm sure, but Jamie
Sure.
Dimon of J.P. Morgan Chase, uh, arguably the leading financial spokesman in our country, said in announcing this that the American dream is alive but fraying. And he argued that corporations need to take more responsibility for an outcome that's in the interests of all of our citizens. Is that the kind of thing that you think is sensible, a sensible response to what's going on, or do you see that as dangerous?
I think that it's certainly sensible to acknowledge the need for society to be more just, and for whether the corporation is the right place to do that. I mean, sure, there would be opportunities for it, but basically, I'm of the belief that corporations should profit maximize, and that profit maximizing corporations are like a key linchpin of capitalism. And it's profit maximization that makes things efficient, drives productivity higher, and when productivity is higher, then wages go higher. When I was at the Council of Economic Advisors, David, that we put out a report and then made a chapter in the economic report of the president on socialism. And one of the things that people on the left do right now is they very often say, "Oh, we just want America to be more like Scandinavia," and I would guess that you could sort of almost paraphrase Jamie Dimon's statement as being, "We need to be more like Scandinavia." But the fact is that socialism doesn't work, and when you pursue strategies other than profit maximization, then you don't maximize productivity and you don't maximize wages. And we got some data. I'm actually just going to look aside because I pulled it up for the interview. But if you look at it, Danish people who work in the U.S. make 35% more in after-tax income than Danish people who live in Denmark. For Finnish people, it's 19%. For Icelandic people, it's 32%, and so on.
Understood
So that
about.
even the Scandinavians, when they move to the U.S., their standard of living skyrockets. So this
Right.
idea that we can make a utopia. Oh, I'm sorry, I have this thing where my light goes on and off because I'm trying to protect the climate. And so anyway, it's back on now. If I don't move, that happens. But anyway, so this idea that we will become like a utopia if we mimic the European socialists is just incorrect. And
Well,
I
I
think
think
that the
what
corporate,
Jamie
the woke
Dimon would
corporate.
say, Kevin, if I can
Right.
just interrupt, I think what Jamie